Alright, so my idea, I guess, to review the Dark Knight trilogy starts with the first one.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Batman Begins. I'm Batman. I'm actually not Batman. Sorry to break it to you. So Batman Begins is the origin story of Batman, and I'm going to start this review by insulting an old Batman movie. Yep. Way to go, critic. You're reviewing a movie that came out like 38 years ago. I'm gonna start right out by saying the old Batman movie is bad. I don't like it. I watched it once and I was like, that was not very good. It's not Batman and Robin bad, but it's still bad, and it's not Batman and Forever bad, but it's still bad, and whatever. I guess it isn't Batman Returns bad, because Batman Returns isn't bad. Actually, I like Batman Returns a lot. So the first Batman movie, it starts out like this one. Well, not really, but it starts with the whole parents' death thing. And then boom, he's Batman. Nothing explained at all. He's just Batman immediately. Why does that even happen? It would make more sense to do that in Batman Begins. I mean, they do this in Batman vs. Superman, I understand. But that's because the story's been told time and time again. Batman's story hasn't been told time and time again. You can't do that. That's not how it works. You can't make your movie think that it's like, oh, we've done this before, because you haven't done this before. I mean, sure, there's that cheesy cheesy show, but no, you haven't done this before. And then that's something Batman Begins does right, because it tells the whole story, and now I know really where Batman came from, because back in the day it was like, his parents died, and then he was Batman. That's all I knew about Batman. And then after watching Batman Begins, I'm like, I know what this movie is. No, don't get mad at me, because I know, and I saw this film maybe a couple years back. I just watched it again and I loved it. This is maybe the best origin story ever made. I know that's a bit of an overstatement, but it really is pretty awesome. This film just, I don't know, it's just awesome. I mean, I guess Wonder Woman is pretty cool, but Wonder Woman's third act is not very good and has weird CGI. See, that's the thing. Wonder Woman and Superman movies, this is just Superman movies in general nowadays. And Black Panther suffers from this. The Dark Knight trilogy, I think maybe there's one moment in Dark Knight Rises, I'll talk about this later, but it's just like, you use CGI? How could you do this? I'll talk about that when I review The Dark Knight Rises. But the problem with Superman movies nowadays is that they're just like special effects, and that's something Justice League suffers from. I have a review on that one, so you can check that one out. Justice League suffers from basically the heroes fighting CGI, which is dumb. Wonder Woman also suffers from that, from too much CGI. Black Panther suffers from that. Homecoming, kind of. Homecoming didn't feel bad in the way of CGI, but it had it. And it's not CGI's bad. It's that it feels like CGI is overused nowadays. I mean, you don't need to put CGI in your movie, because you can put CGI in your movie. I mean, you can make a movie look amazing without CGI. Have you seen Mad Max Fury Road? Apparently not, because that film doesn't use, I think that's like a couple moments where they use CGI, but rarely uses CGI, and look how awesome that film is. So you don't have to use CGI to make your superhero movie good, or just your movie in general good. The Mission Impossible movies don't use CGI, James Bond doesn't use CGI, so why, never mind, I'm just not. What I realized is really good about the Dark Knight trilogy is it's basically a crime story, but with Batman characters. Just like, we make a crime story, now let's put these characters as Batman characters. That's almost what these films are. They're like, and that's like something that's just like spot on, you hit the mark right, that the old Batman couldn't do, that no Batman can ever do. This film has not been taught by any Batman film ever. I don't think a single film has touched Batman Begins. It is amazing. It is freaking awesome. There are a couple moments where you're like, This is the realistic version, isn't it? So why does he do that? Why? And then later you're like, well, that was really awesome. So the thing you did earlier that didn't make any sense, yeah, that's fine. Why do his bat shoes call bats? Why does that make any sense? Why does the drugs that Scarecrow sends out, why do they make people see their fear? Why is that a thing? That just doesn't make any sense to me. I got a twinkle in my eye. Oh, two. That's weird. It's because of the light back there. I have to say I don't like the Scarecrow for Dark Knight standard movies. He's not a bad villain. He's just for Dark Knight standard movies. He's not a very developed villain, and that's something that this film kind of suffers from. How the villain is not great. I don't really know what to say. He doesn't really have a very good influence behind him, and that's his problem. For Dark Knight, the Dark Knight has the best villains like ever in the history of movies. So it's a bit disappointing. I will say Liam Neeson. I'm gonna call him Liam Neeson because his name is forgotten by all. And he's, I think, the true villain in this movie. I think Liam Neeson is the true villain in this movie because he is just developed. Not really, but he's like Batman's trainer. Batman saved him. He doesn't see that, and he wants to destroy Gotham, and that's something that, like, feels developed. Like, I see where you're going. Batman's a crime. It's not like Killmonger influence where you're like, I want you to win, but you're the bad guy, so I can't let you... It's not like that. It's more just like, I see what your influence is here. I see what you want, and that's something that this film does right. It does it very right. It's... I said earlier it's the best origin story ever made because... I mean, maybe I said it... I don't remember what I say earlier in my reviews unless I rewatch the reviews. So, just saying. If I said it was the best superhero movie origin story ever made? It is. Batman Begins gets a 9 out of 10 from my opinion. Just 9. No points. Because I don't do points. But sometimes I'm like, well, Black Panther deserves a 9.6. But here I'm just like, well, it just deserves a 9. Straight up 9. Because it's not the best movie ever made. But it is incredible. And it's just up there at least. So Batman Begins. What do you think on Batman Begins? Let me know in the comments section below. Right down there. And if you're on a computer, it's right down there. If you're on a tablet, you exit full screen. Go down, you scroll down, and then there's the comment section. If you're on a tablet. Other than that, just see you guys next time. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Goodbye. Next review. I don't know. I'm not gonna see a movie in theaters for a few weeks, so I don't know. Bye.